Why has US journalist Danny Fenster been jailed for 11 years in Myanmar? Fenster was arrested while trying to leave the country in May and has been convicted under the Unlawful Associations Act and the Immigration Act. A court in Myanmar on Friday sentenced US journalist Danny Fenster to 11 years in jail. The sentencing of the 37-year-old managing editor of online magazine Frontier Myanmar is based on three charges and was convicted under the Unlawful Associations Act and the Immigration Act. According to Frontier Myanmar's Twitter account, Fenster's sentence was announced in a court inside Yangon's insane prison during a closed trial. Frontier said that the sentence imposed on him was that of the harshest under the law. Earlier this week, two more charges were brought forward against Fenster, including terrorism and sedition, for which the trial will begin on November 16. There is absolutely no basis to convict Danny of these charges. His legal team clearly demonstrated to the court that he had resigned from Myanmar now and was working for Frontier from the middle of last year, said Thomas Kane, Frontier editor-in-chief, through the magazine's Twitter account. In July, AFP reported the Secretary of State Antony Blinken speaking about his commitment to secure Fenster's release in a telephone call with Governor Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan, which is the journalist's home state. The military regime in Myanmar. On February 1, the Myanmar military grabbed power from the country's civilian government just ahead of a scheduled meeting on the newly elected parliament. Aung San Suu Kyi, who led the National League for Democracy to a landslide win in the 2020 elections and the de facto leader of the outstate government, was detained along with President Win Myint. Subsequently, the military announced a one-year state of emergency. The November 2020 general elections were full of irregularities, is what the military alleged that it did not consider the results valid. The Danny Fenster case. According to statements given out by Frontier Myanmar, Fenster was arrested at Yangon International Airport on May 2021 when he was trying to catch a flight for Kuala Lumpur from where he planned to take a flight to the US. The police arrested him because though Fenster was working for Myanmar, now one of the 5 independent media organizations banned by Myanmar's military regime, on March 8. On March 27, a complaint letter from Criminal Investigation Department requested that a criminal case be opened against the responsible editors of Myanmar, now under Section 505A of the Penal Code. This section was introduced to the country's penal code through an amendment in February 2021 and has been used against journalists, activists, and some social media users. The section targets any individual who causes or intends to cause fear to a group of citizens or to the public, causes or intends to spread false news knowing or believing that it is untrue, or cause or tends to commit or to agitate directly or indirectly criminal offense against a government employee, any kind of government employee or government employees. The statement by Frontier Myanmar mentions that Fenster resigned as editor of Myanmar Now in July 2020 and joined Frontier Myanmar a month later as magazine editor. Thank you.